welcome to the Fantasy News Show from the Bottled Imp. My name is Ken Boyd and this is your weekly fix of fantasy goodness. On this week's show, Fee Fi Fo Fum, we smell the blood of a new fairy tale card game. The home for Petulia Clark is open. I'll say that one again. The home for peculiar children is open. And stranger things have happened to horror writer Stephen King. But first, DragonCon is the largest multimedia popular culture convention focusing on science fiction and fantasy, gaming, comics, literature, art, music and film. And that is all according to their website. The convention does look massive. It all happens at the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia in the US of A from the 2nd to the 5th of September of this year. And it looks massive. I looked on their website and I couldn't believe how much is going on. Things include guests to meet, comic and pop artist gallery. There's going to be workshops, contests, tabletop gaming, role-play gaming, LAN gaming, video gaming. There's also going to be autograph sessions. There's going to be a labyrinth masquerade ball, the annual DragonCon parade, cosplay, plus there's even DragonCon burlesque. What's it? Glamour Geek Review show. So, anybody get any pictures from that? Please post them on our Facebook page. But that doesn't cover all the events that I said. You might want to visit dragoncon.org to find out more. And we will be putting all the links of everything that I say there's a link to, but you'll figure it out on the episode description. DragonDaze is a games convention and mini comic con that takes place in Newport, South Wales, and that happens on Saturday the 17th of September. This event is a charity event that raises money for two charities, Sparkle and Barnardo's, and they support children in the UK that need help. And there'll be various gaming events such as demos from publishers, a role-playing games room, a board game room run by Counters Board Game Cafe, who are based in Bristol. Plus there's going to be bring and buy stalls and a raffle and tombola. Plus there's going to be a best cosplay competition. It does look a lot of fun, and I think this is it's about 4th or 5th year now. And you can visit their website, which is dragondaze.com. Renegade Games announces a new 2-player card game based on the classic fairy tale Jack and the Bean Stalk. The Blood of an Englishman is designed by Dan Cassar, and players either play Jack or they play the giant. Jack is trying to loot the giant's treasure, whereas the giant is trying to stop Jack from doing that. And quite right too. I had to think about this. That fairy tale is basically stealing. Jack is stealing the giant's money. Is that a good thing? I don't know. But anyway, both have specific card arrangements that they're trying to achieve. Jack has to form 3 beanstalks to make 3 trips to steal a bag of gold, the singing harp and the golden goose, whereas the giant is trying to arrange his Fee Fi Fo Fum famous phrase in order to stop Jack. The Blood of an Englishman is due to be in the shops in November of this year, and you can find out more by visiting renegadegamestudio.com. Scythe from Stonemaier Games is coming to the shops in October. This was originally a Kickstarter game, and Scythe has received critical acclaim from reviewers and people that already backed the campaign and received their copies. It got a lot of buzz, this one. And the game is actually set in an alternate history of the 1920s, where the First World War has just finished, and countries still have, like, you know, their military on red alert, and they've all got armoured mechs to defend themselves, which look really cool. The mysterious building known as the factory has closed down, so now the 5 different factions are trying to get into the factory to obviously create more mechanoid weaponry, and it's basically an area control game and a sort of resource management game, and with a bit of combat thrown in. It's 1 to 5 players, and Stonemaier Games have announced that their first expansion will be available quite soon, and that's called Invaders from Afar, and you can go to StonemairsGames.com to find out more. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children hits the cinema on Friday the 30th of September. And this film is based on the 2011 novel of the same title, written by American writer and filmmaker Ransom Riggs. And this adaptation is directed by Tim Burton, no less. So expect all of the Tim Burton trappings. And it's written by Jane Goldman, and it stars Eva Green, Asa Butterfield of Hugo fame, and we did do a review of that, so check that one out. Chris O'Dowd, Judi Dench, and Samuel L. Jackson. And the story is about a 16-year-old Jacob Portman who has been told by his grandfather, Abraham, that as a boy, his grandfather actually lived in a special orphanage for children who were peculiar, run by a mistress named Miss Peregrine. And Jacob as he grows older, he starts to question this, the reality of what his grandfather is actually telling him. But this all changes when he goes to visit him with a friend, and he sees a monster, but his friend doesn't. So he starts searching for the truth. This does look really amazing. I looked at the trailer and yeah, I'm very excited about this one. You can check out the trailer by visiting foxmovies.com, or you could buy the book and read the book, which I'm very tempted to do so. The 2016 Hugo Awards have just been announced by the awards organisers, the World Science Fiction Society. The Hugo Awards are given each year for the best science fiction or fantasy works and achievements of the previous year. Now in its 74th year, that's quite amazing. The actual awards were named after Hugo Gernsback, who was the founder and pioneering person, that doesn't make sense, does it, of the science fiction magazine Amazing Stories. So that's quite an accolade there. And this year, the winners include The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin for Best Novel, Binti by Neda I knew this one would get me, Okorafor for Best Novella, and The Sandman Overture, written by Neil Gaiman and art by J.H. Williams III for Best Graphic Novel, and Abigail Larson won Best Professional Artist. And you can find a full list of the winners for this year by visiting thehugoawards.org. Stephen King is set to write Series 2 of Stranger Things, the TV show. For those of you that don't know, Stranger Things is an original Netflix series and was a really big hit this summer. It's set in 1983 in the small town of Hawkins in Indiana in the US, and it's the story of Will Byers, a schoolboy who mysteriously vanishes, and the local police chief, Jim Hopper, begins to investigate, as does Will's best friends Dustin, Mike and Lucas. And it's a supernatural fantasy horror that has real elements of nostalgia and is really, really influenced by, sort of 80s and 90s horror writers such as Stephen King. And the series was created by the Duffer Brothers, and according to their website, no, not their website, a website called thestudioexec.com, Series 2 will be penned by the legendary horror writer Stephen King. They claim to have an exclusive from the brothers, who told them that Stephen King is a fan and he offered to write the next series. Now, I've not found that story anywhere else on the internet. I guess that's what an exclusive means, so I can't totally verify this story. But if it's true, and I don't really, there's no real reason not to think it's true, I'm very excited about this, because this is a great series. If you've not seen it and you have access to Netflix, watch it now. Well, not now, but because, watch the rest of this episode, but watch it after this, unless you're at work, and then why are you watching this? Anyway, I'm going down a cul-de-sac here. I'm very excited by it. Check it out. And as I say, if you want, you can read the whole article where I found the story on their website, which is thestudioexec.com, and I am very excited. Am I excited? I think I've said that a lot, haven't I? Kickstarter news. Hath No Fury is an anthology where women take the lead in this collection of short stories. It's a collection of 19 fantasy, science fiction and urban fantasy stories that defy the female stereotypes. And I quote from their Kickstarter page, "Readers should expect to find super smart, purpose-driven and ultra-confident heroines." And that's what I like to hear. Hath No Fury is co-edited by Melanie R. Meadows and J.M. Martin, both of which are authors themselves. The cover art is by Manuel Castanon and designed by Sean T. King. I should really practice these, shouldn't I? There is an introduction by Margaret Wise, and the authors include, I'm terrible at names, Siannon, that's it, Sianna Maguire, Leanne Heron, Elaine Cunningham and William C. Dietz. I'm sorry. It's probably best to look at the Kickstarter campaign and you can read the authors for yourself. They've got a full list of them. And there's a soft cover option, there's a hard cover option, plus there is digital pledges available. It's already funded and it finishes on the 7th of September. The 21st HP Lovecraft Film Festival and CthulhuCon is taking place in Portland, Oregon in the US of A. All the fun takes place on the 7th and 9th of October, and the organisers are looking for help with their running costs. The festival is a celebration of the literary work of the horror and fantasy legend H.P. Lovecraft, as you probably guessed because the name is in the title. There's going to be many screenings over the 3 days, both feature films, independent films and short films as well, some of which are world premieres. Now, I have looked at their website, which is HP Film Festival, as well as the Kickstarter campaign, because I wanted to find out a little bit more, and the films do look very, very intriguing. They do look of a high professional standard. So that's good news. There are various pledge levels, including the VIP LAN Sue Party and the Shihang Tunnel Tour. There's tunnels apparently where they're going to be hosting this, and you can get a pledge level that allows you to go on a VIP tour of those tunnels. If I was there, I would definitely try and do that. Looks a lot of fun. It is close to being funded. In fact, it may well be funded by the time this is posted. And if they have reached their target, congratulations. It does finish on the 9th of September. Fantasy Coin have a new Kickstarter campaign, and this time there's 31 different themes and new gems and free loot. 31 different themes to choose from. They have decided to reprint their most popular coin sets because the demand was so high, and I'm not surprised because they do look fantastic. You can mix and match, you can choose between pre-made sets of 30 coins, or you can create your own sets with packs of 10 coins from any of the themes. All the coins are made from zinc, plated with coloured nickel, covered with an antique finish and hand brushed to bring out the detail and the shine. And themes include fire, barbarian, dwarven, magic, Cthulhu, moon elf, plus they have various sets of gems and loot to boot. A little bit of a rhyme. There are other themes. Not all of them are fantasy. I just picked out some of the fantasy ones, but even the non-fantasy ones look really, really cool. And they would add a lot of atmosphere to any role-playing game or even board game, to pimp up your board games. It's already funded and it finishes on the 3rd of September. And finally, we do have some Bottled Imp news. We are setting up a Bottled Imp Patreon campaign page, so that's going to be really cool. We're very excited, aren't we, Julian? Whoop! There you go. That proves he is actually still alive. And we are in the middle of planning out the video because we're going to do like a little welcome video for that page. So we're really excited about that. We'll be telling you more news as and when we have it about all of the Patreon campaign. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out our Friday fantasy show that obviously happens every Friday. And we do have lots of content on our Facebook pages. We've also got a website, which is www.thebottledimp.com. Plus we're on social media. Thank you so much for subscribing. We're continuing to grow. Help spread the word, the news, the fantasy news of the Bottled Imp. But until next time, fellow imps, remember to keep it unreal, especially the news.